Hello to all of my dreamers out there. I am the channeling goddess. If you are new here, hi, hello. If you are returning back, welcome back. So today we are going to be doing another dream interpretation. Now this one is pretty short. It was actually given to me as confirmation for something else on my other dream interpretation that I did earlier this week. So I am going to dive deep into the dreams and the symbolism in this dream. But before we get started, as always, there is a couple of disclaimers. So disclaimer number one, these are my interpretations of my own dreams. So if what I am saying does not necessarily resonate with you, that's okay. If you listen to the dream interpretation and you get a completely different meaning than what I got from my own dream, then you are using this video for the exact purpose it was meant for, right? It is meant to share my dream interpretations and hope that maybe spirit has a message for you there, or a message for you specifically in what I interpret or in the dream itself, okay? Disclaimer number two, if you're looking for something that is a little bit more tailored or a little bit more closely related to whatever issue or situation or confirmation or guidance that you may need, and that's why you're listening to this dream interpretation, it is helpful that you tap into your own intuition. And the way that I prefer to do this is by going outside and putting my feet in the grass, and I like to take 3 mindful deep breaths. So I normally inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 3, and exhale for 5 to 6 seconds. This just helps me get more in sync with my own intuition and help me to choose the pile or sometimes the readings that I am meant to receive a message from. Okay, so this one is a pretty short one, not that long. So get your coffee, get your tea, and let's get started. Okay. All right, in my dream, I was eating some rice, maybe, when I was, while I was sitting in a chair in front of a curtain of sorts. First, one of the NSYNC guys came out and started singing, and I was shocked to see them. Then 2 other white people came out from behind the next curtain, and I had no idea who they were, but I felt like people would be disappointed if they realized I had no idea who these people were. So I pretended to be shocked and opened my mouth wider as if I knew who these people were. I wonder if they could see the rice in my mouth when I opened my mouth. One of the people was bald-headed, and I knew they were super famous because the people behind me were going absolutely crazy. At the end of the performance, the announcer calls their names, and although I am familiar with them, I don't really know them that well. At some point, there is a guy talking, and this woman has on a pink and white flowery bodysuit, and the word dominatrix is written in white, okay? The woman asks him something about her being his his dominatrix, and she asks why he's not with her. And he turns to someone else and says, "It's because she has my heart." I thought he was talking about the woman next to him, but he is looking directly at me. Then the woman next to her told her she needs to get a tattoo so that when people find her, so somebody told the dominatrix that she needs to get a tattoo so that when people find her, they will want to know who did it. She shows her thigh, and there is a huge tattoo on her thigh that has several green snakes that look like they are coming out of her leg. And there are 2 places where they are. So think about like the thigh is here, and then there's a snake tattoo, and it looks like the snakes are coming out her leg, but in different sizes. Okay, so that's the end of the dream. Really short, sweet, straight to the point. Okay, so let's go back to the top. It says, in the dream, I was eating some rice, and I was sitting in a chair in front of a curtain of sorts, and then this NSYNC guy came out and started singing, and I was shocked to see them there. Spirit is saying that I will be in places where I did not necessarily know that I could sit or could be in, where I'm meeting people that are famous, but also people of very high stature. And that's that's almost inconceivable for me because I'm such an introvert, but I know that this is spirit warning me because there was already another dream interpretation where spirit kind of basically say, either you come out of your shell, I'm gonna bring you out. If I have to bring you out by fire, I will bring you out by fire. So to me, this is Spirit just confirming that there will be some transformation that will be happening, and I will be in rooms where there will be people that are famous there, right? And then I kept going. I said I have there were some other people who came out, 2 other people who came out from behind the curtain, and I had no idea who they were, but I felt like people would be disappointed if they realized I had no idea who they were. So I faked it, basically. And Spirit is saying that I don't have to fake it, right? I am in rooms that I am supposed to be in. Yeah, I may not know everybody in those rooms, but I'm in those rooms because I'm meant to be there, and I don't have to fake anything, right? I am who I am, right? Excuse me. Then it says, I noticed that one of the people was bald-headed and they were super famous. And I knew this because the people behind me were going crazy. At the end of the performance, the announcer calls their names. And although I am familiar with them, I don't really know them that well. Spirit is saying it's okay to not know everybody in the room. Even if you're familiar, we're not all meant to know everybody, right? Sometimes what we're in that room for is not the people that are directly in front of us. Maybe we're meant to be there to help someone else, and we need to be honest and strategic about how we move through certain rooms, especially after certain transformations that happen. Okay. Let's see. Okay, at some point there is a guy talking to this woman and who has on a pink and white flowery bodysuit, and the word dominatrix is written in white. The woman asks him something about her being his dom, and she asks him why he's not with her, and he turns to someone else and said that it's because she has my heart. I thought he was talking about the woman next to him, but he is looking at me. To me, that was Spirit saying that even though this woman, this dominatrix, she wanted this particular man, she wanted to be his domie, is what they're called, I believe. He could not give that to her because his heart had belonged to someone else. And I feel like Spirit was telling me that I'm going to be in rooms, and it doesn't necessarily like actually be his heart where like he's in love with me, but like he came there to get something from me, not her, right? Which is why he turned to me and said, like, this person has my heart, right? It could be romantic. It didn't feel romantic to me. It felt like sweet in the dream. It felt like, oh, it's cute. Oh, like it felt like that, but not in a like, oh my God, this person is confessing their undying love to me. Okay. So then it says, then the woman next to her tells the other lady that she needs to get a tattoo so that when people find her, they will want to know who did it. She shows her her thigh, and there's a huge tattoo that has several green snakes that look like they are coming out of her leg from 2 different places. Okay, so to me, this is Spirit saying that transformation can happen in any place, any space, any time, in any individual. And sometimes our transformation can come from more than one place. Our transformation can be transformative in different ways, where we can see ourselves in a different light. We can understand who we are in a very different light. We don't have to showcase our transformation. Like specifically for her, the lady didn't even realize she already had the tattoo because the tattoo was hidden. It was on her thigh, right? And she was saying, oh, you need to get a tattoo and people will want to know where you got it from. Is sometimes we don't need to know where the transformation started, only that the transformation has occurred. And I feel like that Spirit is saying that not all transformation will be visible. Not all transformation will be something you will be able to see. Sometimes it will have to be revealed to you. Sometimes that the people that you're meant to help are not always going to be as easy to spot as you would assume that they are. Sometimes you may have to do a little digging. Okay, we're going to get one card from this deck, from the Shaman Oracle deck, just to see if there's any additional messages that Spirit has for us about this dream. Anything I'm missing, Spirit? Any additional messages? Any confirmation of messages you want to give us about this particular dream? Can we get one card, please? Okay, we have card 55. It says, the further gate, bold step forward. And then our bottom deck energy is card 31. It says, in the hand, the universe is your partner. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I feel like the universe is saying that you will be guided down the path that is meant for you. But Spirit will give a helping hand, right? The universe is your partner. The universe will be guiding you throughout all of your transformations, throughout any place that you need to be in, any place where new place where you have to go and you have to be completely different, completely transformative. Spirit is saying, I will be there with you. Okay, so I'm going to read this card. So it says the farther gate, bold step forward. It says the next experience, legacy, evolving, bold step forward. When the farther gate card shows up, it is a clear call to lift your eyes to the horizon and begin to walk toward your future. You are marching in place right now, stirring the dust, but not getting anywhere. Trust that your forward movement will lead you to a new destination. Wow, you have already set for yourself, but perhaps forgotten or neglected because of your everyday busyness. To me, this is really is confirming what I was saying about being in those rooms. Instead of standing in space, standing in one place and just stomping and kicking up dust, I actually, am moving forward, or should be taking bold steps forward to be in rooms where I've always meant to be, right? It says the further gate comes to tell you that an ending is at hand and that you can leave the old behind. Let it peel away like an old skin. What did I talk about the shedding with the snakes, right? Transformation, okay? It says, let it peel away like an old skin you shed. Do not hesitate. Cross the threshold boldly and you will be rewarded. If you continue marking time instead of moving, you will miss the opportunity. The gate is open. The new landscape of your life is within reach, but the window of time to pass through it grows shorter. Do not dally. A gift of the further gate is to bring you to the fullest expression of gifts. Perhaps for the first time, it is an invitation to a sacred passage, to new discovery and both great challenges and opportunity. It is not a graduation. There are no rewards other than the exploration itself. You have been a farmer far too long, tilling the hard soil that now bears little fruit for you. Time to put on the explorer hat once again. Yeah, so to me, this is Spirit just saying that there's a lot of growth, transformation that's coming for me. I will be in a lot of rooms where I won't necessarily know everybody there, but I'm there for a specific person, right? Where it talks about the explorer, right? And I think I mentioned this, that not all people that I'm there to help transform will look the way I assume that they will look. Not everybody who needs help, not every transformation will look exactly the same. And it's because that there is growth happening. There is bold steps being taken to put me in places where I can not only help myself, but help others, right? And I think I mentioned this in another reading, that transformation is ongoing, right? We never get to the end of transformation. We're always exploring, because if the goal is to get further and closer to Buddha or God or whatever entity that you resonate with, whether it's spirit, the universe, or nothingness, right? If your goal is to get closer to that, then there's always constant transformation. Sometimes it's an opportunity, sometimes it's challenges, but we have to be willing to make that bold step. We have to be willing to step outside of our comfort zone and be in places where we don't necessarily, we can't hide who we are anymore, right? We can't hide our light. We can't hide behind the shadows anymore. We have to move forward and be in a place of light, taking those bold steps, okay? Also, for some of you, transformation may be upon you, because we have 5-5 here, which the number 5 talks about transformation. So it's kind of perfect that came out, but know that Spirit has their hand on you. I'm not listening, but I'm hearing the song. I can't think of it, but the part that I keep hearing in my head is "History Has Its Eyes on You" from the Hamilton soundtrack. So for some of you, you are making history, whether it be in your community, whether it be on a global scale, whether it be in your own bloodline, in your own lineage, you are making history. And there are some things about you specifically, and I'll take this message if it resonates. You may not even know if it resonates right now, but you may feel it later on. For some of you, you are transitioning your own bloodline, and history will write about what you're doing right now. May not seem like it now, but history will write about it in the future, okay? So this is all of the messages that I have. Like I said, that this was a pretty short one, not too long. I think the one I did earlier this week was like super long, so we're going a little shorter this time. But thank you so much for sticking out with me and allowing me to tap into my own dream interpretations and give you what I'm getting from Spirit. And I will see you next time in our next one. Bye.